The Eskom problems as we see them, they structural, they operational, and they are financial. We have spent some time, and I think in trying to address what we called the cleaning up. But what is now has become clear is the cleaning up was a consequence of some malfeasance of people having stolen money. This was not money that was sitting in a vault somewhere at Eskom that they open the vault and take. It now becomes clear when you hear that the average life of the Eskom plant is 38 years. It's clear looking in the financials that for the last 5 years in particular, up to February 2018, there's been maintenance in a reduction sense. The maintenance spend was getting less and less, which is incongruent with the plant that was aging more and more. So it has to be that money that was not spent on maintenance. The question has to be, what was that money spent on? So that is an issue that is currently now being pursued through the law enforcement agencies, either on a criminal process or on civil processes. That is the one side. But the reality is we now have a plant that is falling off owing to not maintenance. Eskom at a point took a decision that they will not be maintaining their old plant. They would spend money and building new plants, which was followed by the actual building of Medupi and Gusile and Ngula later. That decision, rightly or wrongly, was taken. The reality, though, is that the plants that were built have not come on stream fully, and the partial commercial availability of those plants has not been able to produce the required electricity. If you have take out 10,000 megawatts, you have to replace it with 10,000 new ones. The two new ones are not producing that. The one power station has got only one unit that has been commercially commissioned. The others, two or so units, but they all continuously are tripping. They're tripping because of a variety of reasons. We have found that some of the problems have to do with the design. But the design in itself cannot be a problem. It's what you do about fixing the design problems that you find in there. So we are in a situation that the Minister has explained to you the gap between the installed base and what is available, the 48 and the 28,000, and the demand. If the demand is met, then there is no need to load shed. But if there is more demand than there is supply, you need to find another way of dealing with this. But our current plants, the new ones are not producing the required capacity. The old ones are too old. We are now pushing them. There's only just so much that they can do. So where we now find ourselves, we do need time with the equipment. We do have to get time with the equipment. We've had these equipment that works when they are hot. You need to get them cold so that you can work on them. When you work on them, you've got to fire them up, test them when they are hot, see where the leaks are, take them off, make them cold, go and find those spares. These are old equipment. Go find those spares, go find the people, go pay the money that you need. So where we're at now is, as I see Eskom in two streams. What I would call the routine stream, that there is a particular process you need to follow to procure, there is a particular process you need to follow to get services, to get people. There is the crisis part of Eskom, The operational side is now the crisis level of Eskom. That crisis, I think, would need a crisis reaction methodology. Here we need time and speed. Here we need time to work with the equipment. We need speed to address the problems. We need speed to get the equipment, the spares. You need speed to get the people that you need to get. You need money to pay for the things that you need to get. The processes that are there as per the prescripts of our various governance are not geared up for the speed that is now required. You have not, for the last 5 years, routinely done maintenance. And anything that is mechanical, any moving part is subject to wear and tear. This equipment has worn, has torn. There is no other answer either than fixing it. And fix it, you need it to take it out of commission, and then you're gonna now reduce what is available. What is available is now the 28,000 megawatts. The demand is higher than that. To reduce what is available while you're fixing, to be able to bring back, hopefully in a sustainable and a reliable way, you need to, when you take that time to fix, you have got 4 options. The one option is you've got to import the capacity you don't have. You need to import electricity. We know why that option might not be feasible for our current situation. 2, the other option, you need to continue to ban this diesel on our open cycle turbines, which were never designed to be base. They were designed to be standby, to fill up as and when the need arises. But you now need to ban them. We have already seen a big increase on the amount of usage of our open cycle gas turbines, as it manifests by the amount of diesel we've been buying, to the extent that not only we can't afford it, but there is no more diesel available. So this, in terms of, just to contextualize the point, in terms of our regulator, we are allowed only 1% load factor of usage of these open cycle gas turbines. So in rand terms, that is, we are allowed to spend only 600 million a year on these. The last 3 to 5 months, given the various problems we've experienced, ranging from the early part of midway calendar 2018, we had those industrial relations issues, which has affected supply. Towards the end of last year, we had our coal supply problems. Recently, we've had the unavailability of plant, which meant that we should use this. In that period, we have spent just under 5 billion rand in spending what should have been 600 million. So we can go to NESA, but NESA can only allow us 1%. So there is a problem with the gap of how we're going to have to fund for this. But also going forward, you do know that, as I said, in the options, you have to use those. So you are already having to budget and provide for a much bigger number, almost 6-7% load factor than the 1% that is allowable, which has got its issues about recoverability. The third option is, of course, to build new power stations. We don't have the time, we don't have the money, we have not yet, we're retiring our trainees already. The ones that we have put in that have not been fully commissioned are already requiring refurbishment. The last option, which is the last resort that the system operator has in his hands, and this is what Penat was trying to demonstrate, the last option is to load shed. It's not something that is taken lightly. It is indeed the last step that's get taken. We understand the inconvenience and the pain and the discomfort it costs South Africans, but we do hope that with the work that we've been doing, we would be able to reach a certain level of predictability, we would be able to come back and say to South Africans, we have 28,000. We need 36,000. How are we going to use this 28,000 whilst we are fixing the other 8 to meet our 36,000? How much will it take? How long? So that you South Africans can be able to plan your lives. But understand that this pain, this discomfort that we're going through is unfortunately one we need to do so that we can find the time with the equipment to fix it. I hope I've tried to explain why we have the problems we have. We have not maintained the plant over the last 5 years. We've seen our maintenance budget 6 years ago was in the 40s, 40 billion. We've seen it go to as low as half of that. And the more money you were running out of, must remember by July 20, up until July 2017, Eskom did not get any funding. So the little that they were finding would have been from what they were producing and selling. They were not producing optimally. What they were selling, they were not collecting, as it manifests with the high levels that we see in our municipalities. We've gotten tariffs. We've not been able to get cost-reflective tariffs. It is against this background that when the president decides that we should unbundle, so that we can look at Eskom, look where efficiencies are, look at and find those efficiencies, find an acceptable benchmark cost, universally acceptable of producing electricity, and how we as an organization are performing relative to that. And then hopefully when we go to NESA, there's no more debate about what does it cost you versus what it would cost anybody else. And of course, whilst we're doing this, there are other challenges. The world has not been waiting for us to solve our problems. New technologies have come about. We need to gear up to be able to take advantage of those technologies. Whilst we're doing this, we have to follow a particular acceptable universal way of transition, a just transition from where we are. So some of the decisions we need to take or have taken need to be taken against the backdrop of what we need to be doing as a responsible corporate citizen. So we need time with the equipment. Speed is of essence. We need some indulgences on what we can to meet this crisis situation. We cannot use normal routine ways to address a crisis and an emergency situation. And we do hope that the work that is being done by the technical review team that is doing the audit, added to the work that we have done on our 9-point plan, we will be able in the next few days, Minister, to come back with more certainty and precision of how long will it take for us to do this, and then commit to periodically update South Africans on the various stages we had on achieving our set milestone. Thank you.
Is Mr. Morrison in the room? Has he left? Is he outside? If you can call him.